Okay, so good morning to you all. Let's see, Mary Beth and small class Polly and Marina and Betsy and Winnie and Nancy. Nice to see you all. And then because it is such a small class, I'd be happy to entertain any requests. Um, so make sure that you're comfortable. Take enough height if you want to sit in a chair so that you have some length in your lower spine. And if it's more comfortable, if you get more length in your lower spine by sitting in Virasana, then please sit in Virasana Hero's Pose. And then adjust so that the shoulder blades are flat on the back. See if you can bring forth the armpit chest. So hooking the thumbs, I think we did this the other day, hooking the thumbs underneath the armpits and moving basically the armpit chest forward, but be mindful of not pushing the abdomen forward. So oftentimes I'll hook my thumbs underneath the armpit chest, but put my hand on the navel band so I can feel that part of the abdomen not pushing forward. And you can always feel it because if your lower spine feels dug in, especially for those, Mary Beth, who are more flexible in the lower spine. Make sure your lower spine is perpendicular to the floor. And then just pronate the palms on the roots of the thighs. And let the arms, sense that the arms hang from the shoulders. So you're not holding tension in the shoulders or in the sides of the neck or in the throat. And then, of course, close the eyes. And sense that you've landed in this seat, in this posture. Sit and know that you're sitting, setting aside your fragmented self. See if you can sit in community as a friend to one another, all aspiring to know the truth of things. And acknowledge that you've shown up week to week. This entire year, almost now 2 years. And it's not nothing, it's something just to show up. Acknowledge that. Let your body become porous. Sense that it is opening up to everyone in the Sangha, in the community. Sense that you are able to open up to whatever arises in the body. See if you can include everything, include everyone, leave nothing and no one out. And then today, because this is a day that people often think about vows and intentions as the new year is approaching, I'm going to stay with the Bodhisattva vow, but if you have a personal vow, of course, you can repeat that. May I be a boat, a raft, a bridge for all beings to cross the flood. May I be a resting place for the weary. May I be medicine for all who are sick. May I be a lamp in the darkness for those who are lost. And may I do so as long as earth and sky and galaxies exist, until all beings are enlightened. I vow to be here to serve them all. And then if your eyes are closed, you can lift your gaze, open your eyes, and stretch out your legs. So welcome to everyone. I see a few people have come in, Donna and Julia and Andrea, Lindsay. So I'd like to start. So what I wanted to do is, and I was talking to my dear friend Nadia, we were talking about how it's nice to think about quiet time in this at the beginning of the new year, which is about to come to happen. And to perhaps use this time in supine poses to reflect on some intentions for the new year, if that's appropriate for you. So what I'd like you to do is start in Supta Baddha Konasana with vertical trunk support. Okay, so the bolsters here or 2 blankets, and we're in Supta Baddha Konasana, and we're going to go through the 4 basic supine poses to unfold the mind, to unfold the body, to unfold the knots of the body and the mind. You can use a belt. Because we're staying some time, do have outer thigh support. So Supta Baddha Konasana. Do I need to show it? I never know what to need to show. I think you all know Supta Baddha Konasana. Donna, you're laughing. Okay, soles of the feet together. Because we're staying some time, I'll probably take some outer thigh support. Good morning, Lana. Although it's not good morning there. All right. So we're starting in this rather horizontal pose. And what I want you to sense is that you're unfolding your inner body. Baddha Konasana, because it's more horizontal in the pelvis, and certainly the trunk is supported, but you can feel the opening of the chest. Do take head support. So when I was in meditation class, I take a class every morning. It starts at 8:30. And this week, as far as the New Year is concerned, we reflected on what we were grieving and what we were grateful for. There were 2 separate sessions. And it was really helpful to reflect on the loss over the year, but also the gain. You know, those are the 8 vicissitudes: loss and gain, pleasure and pain. So just to reflect perhaps as we unfold the mind and the body on the losses and on the gains. Because I think in some way when you reflect on those 2 things, it helps you can get clearer on what your intention, what I like to say more than intention, is vow. Because a vow is a very, very large thing, you know, that you say every day. Don't always make it, and then you repeat and start again. Have the arms just out, good Marina, out to the side, the palms up. So you really unfold the chest, unfold the abdomen, relax the abdomen, relax the throat, take head support. So I would say, you know, in the times that we don't meet and you want to do some yoga, often it's very helpful to start with maybe not all 4 of these, but certainly one of them. Because when you unfold the body and the mind, it gives you some incentive to practice. So we'll just say that this is chapter 1, the supine poses, and then we'll get to a more active chapter. Because obviously, when you come to class, you don't know exactly what I'm going to be teaching. This may be exactly what you need this morning, and it may not, and then it may not be so at all. So there's possibilities here. Stretch the arms overhead, keep the elbows straight, reach through the fingertips. You can turn the upper biceps inside out, so the armpits are thin. That's it, Marina, good. Yeah, you just take one hand, turn skin, other arm, turn skin, as we would if we were standing. That's good, Betsy. Okay, now hold the wrists, forearms or elbows. Some of you have more mobility, the upper arm. Extend the arms again overhead, reaching through the fingertips, making the armpits long. And then clasp in the other manner. Again, sense you're unfolding your mind, unfolding your body. Feel the state of your mind. Are you rushing? Are you sluggish? Use this time to bring the mind-body into some kind of balance. Now take the arms down by your side. Now, take your hands to the outer thighs, make the feet flat on the floor, roll to one side. All right, now we're coming into Supta Virasana with vertical trunk support. Those of you who have knee issues, do straight legs with the trunk supported. So Supta Virasana, not for those who have any knee issues, you can just do sitting in front of the bolster, almost like what we did the Paryanukasans with the feet hip width apart. Polly, anyone experiencing knee issues, obviously straight legs. Otherwise, sit in Virasana, Mary Beth, good. Do an arm movement, an arm position, and then recline back. We're going to stay a little bit so for those of you who find maybe 3 minutes too long in Supta Virasana, can go to straight legs. If your legs are straight, have them hip width apart. They need not be at a wall. If the legs tend to splay out or lift up, it's a sign that you, need more height. Andrea, maybe another blanket on that bolster. Start in Virasana and use Virasana to adjust the feet and the outer shins. It's really important. And really use the time, Lindsay and Donna, inner knees to outer knees. Julia, the same. So it's really important to sit in Virasana and get on the cutting edge of the outer foot. Remember, you have to, in order not to hurt the knees in Virasana, pry open those inner knees. Skin, inner knee, that's so important. And then when you recline back, if the knee should fly up, then build up height, knowing you can always remove some. Such an important posture. That's good, Donna. Okay, Julia, good. Yeah, a little more height, Andrea. It always err on more than less, knowing that you can take out. Same thing, Nancy, that's good. Also, if you have another bolster, it's good to put the bolster on the thighs. I really like something on the thighs to ground the thighs down. So if you have another bolster, some of you I know have two. Right, Julia? Oh, it's in the other place. Right, okay. All right, very good. Andrea, watch the right leg. It looks like it's moving out to the screen. So belt is optional. I mean, I would say it's not optional. If your thighs start splaying like Baddha Konasana, then definitely use the belt. So as some of you came in, after we go through these supine poses, today being a special day of sorts, end of the year of sorts, if anybody wants to do anything, just unmute yourself. Okay, so we're going to stay again, take the arms overhead. Feel in contrast to Supta Baddha Konasana, this is a very vertical pose. You get a lot of elongation in the abdomen. It may not feel as wide, so just balance that horizontal feeling that you had in Supta Baddha Konasana with this vertical elongation. And then hold in Baddha Hasta, should be a little bit easier. That's it. Of course, if anyone who is now in Supta Virasana, if your knees are screaming, then come out, build trunk support or stretch your legs as I just showed with the bolster support. Okay, and then re-stretch the arms, extend through the fingertips, really charge, turn the arm skin, and then Baddha Hasta other way. Make sure that your lower spine should feel broad in Supta Virasana, not digging in. Then likely that you need some more height. The abdomen, if you were to put your hand on your navel band, it's not pushing forward in the same way we talked about when we sat. Okay. So ideally, it's nice to stay in these supported poses 4 to 5 minutes. Could do longer. So now the arms are overhead, change them across if you haven't. And then those of you who did that already, just extend the arms down. Just enjoy your breath. Breath and body should feel closer together. You know, you've arrived, you've landed. They've merged together by now. That fragmentation that we often feel at the very beginning class, I hope, has weakened. Again, have the backs of the hands pressing into the earth so you can really open the chest. Now I'm going to take out the Supta Virasana people first versus the straight leg. So those of you who are now in Supta Virasana, take the hands into the arches of the feet, press the feet, come up with your chest, stretch the legs out. Those of you straight legs, simply bend the legs and roll to one side. Okay, now before we do Matsyasana, and I should say Supta Swastikasana and Matsyasana. So Matsyasana, the legs are in Padmasana. You're going to do Quasi Jethara. So we've done this quite a lot. This is the one where you're lying flat on your back, your feet are hip width apart, and you're just going to swing the legs side to side. If the knees come to the floor, great, but they don't have to. This is as preparation for Supta Swastikasana, which is preparation for Matsyasana. Notice how we're not doing trunk support. Have the feet hip width and go side to side. Should feel really good. Side to side. To open up the frontal groin. Good. That's it, Polly. Make sure the feet are not together. Go side to side. To open up, so as you go to the left, you're opening the right groin and vice versa. And then when you're ready, what you're going to do, which will feel good on the knees, is you'll stretch your legs up to 90 degrees. And then with belt, if you have long arms, it's a little bit easier. I'm holding the outer edges of the feet. I'm drawing my heels quite close into my buttock bones. And then I'm getting the groins, both of the groins opening at the same time. And we'll stay for about 2 minutes, then extend the legs back up, change the cross of the legs, and do Supta Swastikasana on the other side. Those of you who have knee issues, you don't have to, Polly, that's good. You don't have to drag the heels as close into the buttocks, so that, and it won't happen. You know, it'll naturally be maybe 2, 3, 4 inches away. Okay, so now we're in Supta Swastikasana. Yeah, no need for a belt in this one. Back is flat, not supported. This is a wonderful groin opener, kind of an underrated supine pose. And then stretch, Donna, yes, yeah, it is underrated. Seems like we only do this as on the syllabus to prepare for Matsyasana. And then take the arms overhead, reach through the fingertips. Watch your lower spine. Don't let the abdomen drift up toward the ceiling. And then take the arms in Baddha Hasta, just as we've done in all the supine poses, the same arm movement. Extending, Baddha Hasta, extending, Baddha Hasta, and then arms down by the side. The same way. That's it. You can go through it on your own, of course. So that last arm position will be down by the side, which is calming to the brain. So stay about, another 30 seconds, then you'll take the legs up again because the knees have been in flexion, so they'll enjoy the extension in Urdhva Prasarita Padasana as I showed, and then change the cross. You can hold on to the outer shins, outer edges of the feet. If your arms are very short, you might need a belt, but unlikely. Okay. Bring the heels in as close to the buttocks as your knees will allow. And then again, arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Hold, Baddha Hasta. I'm just saying this, you don't have to do this quickly. Urdhva Hasta, Baddha Hasta. So remember to touch Urdhva Hasta after the first Baddha Hasta. So you're getting that length in the outer armpits. Then you have to keep that length as you clasp your wrists, elbows, or forearms, or upper arms for that matter. So this pose, Supta Swastikasana, as I said, is a preparation for Matsyasana. Matsyasan, the legs will be in Padmasana, lotus pose. The trunk will be supported by the vertical trunk support. But I'm just saying this as we come to do it. Those of you who are unable to do Padmasana for whatever reason could do Matsyasan with the legs in half lotus, Ardha Padmasana. So now when you're ready, take the arms down by the side. Place the feet flat on the floor and roll to one side and stretch out your legs. So you all know this. You're going to go back to, so Supta Swastikasana and Quasi Jeta, we didn't have trunk support, right? That was different than Supta Virasana and Supta Baddha Konasana. I'm just repeating this. So, you know, if you decide to do this tomorrow or the next day, you'll remember. So now I go back to my trunk support. I'm sitting in front of it. And let's just say I'm a person whose knees are bothering me. So I'm going to take my legs into Ardha Padmasana versus Padmasana, and then I recline back and go through the same arm positions. You come up and then of course change, swap the legs. Say Padmasana comes easily to you. Then you're going into Padmasana, and I would advise, if you're a Padmasana person, what I really urge you to do, because the legs have not been extreme flexion, is lean to one side, raise the foot to the opposite groin, lean to the other. Do that a few times, and then, Betsy and others, and then Donna, and then come into Padmasana. It's a wiser thing to do. Okay. The other option, Polly, I think you can do Ardha Padmasana. If that doesn't work, then naturally straight legs. It's so logical. I mean, one of the great things about our method, and if a sequence is sequenced well, then you know you have something to go to because you already did it. You already did. Okay, so you're either in straight legs with vertical trunk support, you're in Ardha Padmasana with vertical trunk support, or you're in Padmasana with vertical trunk support. Remember to keep the knee when you're taking the legs in and out, keep the knee on the floor. That knee should not pop up. And then recline, good Betsy. Belt is, you know, some people like to have the belt on the outer thigh. In this pose, that's a possibility. Okay, trunk support. You can lie flat, that's fine. It has a different organic feeling. We're doing really this to unfold the organic body, which does feel a little bit different without the support. Okay, last one. Yeah, that's good, Donna. You can raise the knees up, hold the outer edges of the feet, and lengthen from the groin to the knee. Those of you in Padmasana, that's a good way to come into it. Julia. So, people could write a book, What Happens on Zoom. Okay. Good, Marina. All right, stake the arms overhead, remember. Same thing. All these supine poses, same charge. And then you'll take the arms in Baddha Hasta, extend, Baddha Hasta again, and then arms down by the side. And then you'll have to change the cross, in which case you have to come up. You have to hold the sides of the mat. You can stretch out the legs like that, Nancy, yeah. Hold the sides of the mat, come up, and now change Ardha Padmasana people, Padmasana people. Okay. That's good, Lana. And then go back, trunk support. That's it. Marina, that's a good way to do it from UPP or Prasarita, because then you're working with gravity. Yeah. So what Marina's doing, instead of coming back up, and I've taught it to this many ways, and I personally do it myself this way, is come into it from UPP. You see, and then as Donna, you were doing lengthening from the groin to the knee. So that's a possibility as well. So there's different ways to come up. That's good. Okay, Ardha Padmasana, straight legs. Matsyasana is the name of the pose. So the trunk is supported and the legs are in Padmasana or Ardha Padmasana. Or if the knees bother you, just straight leg, which will remind you of all those Paryankasanas that we did. Okay, beautiful. So, you know, why are we doing this? One is that the poses are very quiet in these supine poses, especially if there's no a discomfort anywhere in the body. And we can use this time, as I said, to unfold the mind and the body, unfold the inner knots. So you're taking your arms overhead, some of you have already, and then ending up in that last and final stage of the arms where they're down by the side. Okay. All right. So this chapter took about a little bit longer, but actually this was about right, 20 minutes or so. All right, now we're going to move into a more active stage, but first we're going to do some supported poses, head support, which are particularly good if you have a headache and anxiety. So what I'd like you to do is come up from Padmasana. You can come out of it from UPP, which is a nice way to come out of it. That's it, Marina. Then place the feet on the floor, or you can come up holding the sides of the mat. All right, so before we do supported Adho Mukha Svanasana, I'd like everyone to do a calf stretch of their choice. You could, if you have a staircase nearby, you can use that. If you have two blocks, put them side by side on the low side at the wall. This is all not new. You can use a chair, which is the very best way, Mary Beth. Yeah. All right. Lana and others who like more of that lunge position, that's fine too. So the blocks can go up against the wall, your feet, the ball, that's it, Nancy. Make sure that if it's, be near the wall unless you feel very comfortable and you can be near freestanding. Stretch the calves. You can do one foot at a time, Julia. In the chair, if you're doing it in the chair, Mary Beth, now just move the tailbone forward and lift from the sides of the pubic bone. That's good. And then you can come forward, holding the side rungs of the chair. The bolster liner will work. Yeah, it's a little soft, but so be it. Staircase, yeah. Betsy, that's a good one. That's one that Lana usually likes to do. Yeah, that lunge position. Those of you in the chair, be mindful of being in the chair because people have fallen off the chair. Holly, yeah, that's okay to put the blanket or a mat piece. See if you can get your heels, though, in that frame of the chair. Okay. Any calf stretch of your choice. And then those of you who are not facing the wall, or if you feel comfortable, you can turn around and do it freestanding and bend forward. So Marina, if you come over, just have your back kind of near the wall. But again, don't fall off the bricks or off the chair, please. All right, come forward. Yes, Winnie, that's it. Okay. Holly, now you can bend forward and just walk your hands down the top of the chair legs and forward at your hips, feet are hip width apart. Okay, so I want to do supported dog. And I always say this one instruction. I don't know why I didn't say it the last time I taught it, and I'm hoping it helps. So I want to just show this because this is challenging even in class. So supported dog, the crown of the head, the top of the head can be supported by the bolster. I'm going to use a bolster. You can use a brick. It can be where the forehead and the scalp meet. So watch what I'm first going to do dog pose now that you've stretched your calves. All right, then I'm just taking a mental note of where is the crown of my head in relationship to the floor? You know, I can measure in my mind's eye the distance, and I pretty much know what I need, the bolster. I put the bolster, so the height has to come to you, you don't go to it, right? The support of the height should kind of just graze the crown of the head or your forehead. You're not ramming your head into it, and that would make the elbows bend. So you know that you have too much support when the elbows bend. All right, now, watch, I go up, I've measured my distance, and then today I'm going to take the crown of my head, the very top of my head to the bolster support. Notice how the support runs vertically like my spine, it's not horizontal. Okay, so that's supported dog. All right, some of you, if you want more of a harder surface, can use the block on the medium height. Some people need just one blanket. It depends on mobility in a lot of places, in your armpits, in your legs, in your spine. Okay, so let's take supported dog. You can show me in profile. Remember, let the height come to you. You don't go to it. If your arms bend, trust me, you've taken too much height. So Polly, it looks like a little bit more of maybe a thin blanket over that bolster. Okay, let's see. It should feel comfortable. What I would say is, you know, you have it just right when you could actually stay for about 4 or 5 minutes. Some people just need like a thin paperback book. Build the height to you. So usually when you build up the height from the bolster to make it really comfortable, I would put the blanket in this manner. So you take it like a half a bolster is this blanket, right? I folded it so it corresponds to the shape. And I think then it won't slip and slide. Lindsay, that's good. Just make sure that you're up. Move it up. Make sure when you're taking height, your forearms are not sinking. Over time, the head comes to the floor, but not at the expense of the forearms moving closer to the floor. These look bad. Good. These look good. Maybe the calf stretches help. See if you can sink the heels down. Marina, good. Sink the heels down. And just imagine you could stay for quite some time. Not efforting through the pose. Calming. Again, unfolding the inner knots. Now, when you're ready, either walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands, and we're going to do Prasarita Padottanasana with head support. So some of you can, I like to use the bolster because I'm doing this really for the organic body. So watch. I'll start in the first position where the back is concave. Then I'm taking the bolster, supporting my head. That's a little high for me, and taking my upper arm and lower arm at a right angle. All right, so Prasarita Padottanasana. If you want to use the bolster or blanket or brick, it's fine. Take the legs wide, bending at the hips, sucking the outer shins in and the inner knees moving away. Bend forward, take the first stage, concave back. And then we're taking the crown of the head down. Some of you might need more support. Build up the support to you. Crown of the head to the floor or to the support. Julia, that's good. Inner elbows toward each other. Can do at wall. Good, Andrea. Now, once the head is down, lift the shoulders away from the floor. That's it. Just imagine I'm in front of you, lifting the shoulders up, away from the floor. Take your outer elbow. Polly, you can have the hands behind the bolster. Yeah, more so that, yeah, fingers pointing in the direction of the bolster. That's good, Mary Beth. The legs are perpendicular because you're showing me in profile. So this is Prasarita Padottanasana with head support. Again, very calming, very cooling, unfolding the inner knots. Okay. I think you get the point, right? All right, now come back through concave. Well done. Inhale, up you come. I don't think anyone needs the chair seat, although some people do use the chair seat for the next one, Uttanasana. So I'm taking 2 blocks, one on the high side and one on the low side. I have my feet hip width apart because again, this is Uttanasana, not active Uttanasana where the feet are together. And then I'm placing, as I did in dog pose, the crown of the head onto the brick. I don't want it to topple. Sometimes a mat piece works better in between, and the hands are to the floor. Okay? Uttanasana with head support. If you want to make it, if you can do this in a way, Julia, with the legs at the wall, which is very nice. I just wasn't set up to do that with the backs of the legs. So that's Donna. That's even a different way to do it. Yeah, with the back at the wall, but that's fine. So if you want your legs at the wall, that's fine. I just didn't do it. Betsy, that's good. Your legs are perpendicular. That's beautiful. Lindsay, yeah. Yeah, don't let the buttocks roll back. Winnie, good. So some of you are choosing to put the legs at the wall, which is great. Excellent, Marina. Don't shift the weight too far forward, Marina. Now they're perpendicular. Polly, just see if you can move the buttocks slightly forward to the brick side. Yeah, I should have showed this at the wall, yeah. Lonnie could also turn your, remember, I think it was you that said sometime, maybe it was when we were together on Monday, where your back was against the wall, the way Donna's doing it. Is that helpful? I don't know. Your spine. I thought it was you, but maybe not. Julia, press the thighs back, glue the legs to the wall. Okay, these look great. All right, now come up, and I wasn't going to do this, but this would be interesting. Having done dog pose support, again, just to review, dog pose supported. Some of you were on the crown, some of you were here. Then we did Prasarita Padottanasana supported. Then we did Uttanasana. Can we go back to dog pose? It will be, chances are you'll need the same support, but it'll feel more easeful, okay? Try Adho Mukha Svanasana, because I will say that Adho Mukha Svanasana is commonly taught with head support, okay? All right, here we go. Head support, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Some of you might have, Lindsay, you can see the head coming to the floor. Prop up your forearms. Okay, let's just see. Andrea, that's good to use the grippets. Yeah. I mean, the other thing, as I said, as I spoke to you, the inner, hook your thumb on the inside of a brick. Dumbbells. The other thing that I didn't mention is, oh, you can always do dog pose, Andrea, like this. Watch. I know many people that do dog pose with the hands on the seat of the chair. No problem with the hands or the wrists, which is beautiful. The way I'm doing it now. Dog pose with the hands. No, basically weight on that side. Okay, so that's another option. All right. So if the next section of the class, Andrea, bothers your thumbs in any way, then I would switch over to the Supta Padangusthasana cycle. So again, unfold, continue to unfold the inner knots in this final Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then walk your feet toward your hands and inhale up your come. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of vinyasa, this active section, we'll call it chapter 3. So we did supine work, and then we did supported poses, again, in the restorative theme. And now we're going to do vinyasa. So I think to make it most palatable, let's start with Tadasana at the top. You'll step or jump back, and then you're going to come into a high chaturanga, pump the thoracic back and forth. And then that will warm us up to add Chaturanga Dandasana and Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and then maybe some standing poses. Okay, so with that said, do the needful. All right. Now, feet can be together or apart. Take the arms up. Exhale, bend forward. Jump or step back to Adho Mukha Svanasana without head support. Okay, now come forward into a high plank, lifting the abdomen, good, away from the floor, good power. Abdomen up, shoulders and pelvis align. Okay, now slowly go back to dog. Do that a few times, just to get some movement in your upper thoracic. We've done this a lot. These look good. That's it. Go back and forth, back and forth. Pump the thoracic. We had showed, I think the last time we did this, I think when Lindsay took the block to Lana's back or vice versa, and continue on in that manner. Good. That's it. Good, good, good. All right. Now, once you've done about 8, come down, come down. All right, now for those of you who are going to do Chaturanga Dandasana with the belt, here's your opportunity to put it on. Now, I'm gonna go over this again. So remember to err on tighter than looser, because when you come up to dog pose, if it's too loose, the belt will fall off you. So if you stretch out your arms, make sure the belt is not to your outer shoulder. So let me just show this quickly. And the belt works beautifully. And I think on some level it can avoid a shoulder. The way to do Chaturanga is always 1 or 2 high quality ones. So I make it fairly tight and I place it right above the elbow pit. So when I extend the arms, my hands are in line with my inner shoulders, not my outer shoulders. All right, that's too wide. All right, and then watch. And everyone knows if you were to have, there's no one in this class that has a shoulder issue, but if you were to, of course, you could use the bolster or stand against the wall or do it even at a staircase. So we're going to come into dog pose. And then you're going to, and notice how I actually have to step forward. So my upper arm and lower arms are at a right angle. And actually the belt, when I go down, you can't see this, but it's supporting my upper chest. It's lifting my upper chest away from the floor. All right, I'm not sinking in my lower spine. All right, so let's see Chaturanga Dandasana from Adho Mukha Svanasana with belt or not. If you don't want to wear a belt, that's fine. Okay, here we go. Winnie, yeah, remember to bend it, go in, walk in, and then when you walk in on the balls of the feet, bend the elbows straight backward. Yeah, get the shoulder blades flat on the back. If you need to do something else like a plank, that's fine. Elbows in. Now push the floor away, up you go. All right, now from Adho Mukha Svanasana, come into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. You can have the belt on. Come onto the tops of the feet. Remember, the thighs are off the floor, upward facing dog. You all know it. Come on, Winnie, upward facing dog now. I think the belt's a little bit too loose, Winnie. Okay, now go back to down dog. All right, now come into up dog again. Be on the tops of the feet. Drag your pelvis. No part of the leg is on the floor in up dog. Drag your pelvis closer to the wrists. Okay, now come into Chaturanga Dandasana. Okay, now go back to dog. All right, now one last one. So you can see each one is different. From dog pose, go to Chaturanga Dandasana, to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana on the tops of the feet, tailbone in, good Marina. Now do a double Chaturanga, come back to Chaturanga, and then back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now rest in child's pose. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want to work up to with ease. And I've been teaching this maybe now for the past 4 weeks. So we're adding Chaturanga Dandasana, Urdhva Mukha, and changing the order. All right, now let's do this. Down dog to Vashisthasana. Down dog to Vashisthasana. So up you go. Vashisthasana 1. All right, now establish your right hand, spread the right thumb,
I'm sorry, Ronnie, I don't know what Vashisthasana is. I know
what Vashisthasana is. This one. Okay, so now spread your right hand. You can do it with the grippets. And now alert the entire right hand, right inner arm. And now stagger the feet or stack them, skewer to your right, extend through the inner heels, head back, good. Now come back to dog pose. And now take Vashisthasana 1 to the left, alert the left hand, pull up through the inner arm. You got that from Urdhva Mukha. You got that from Urdhva Mukha. So it's clearly established. The feet can be stacked or staggered. Feet can either be at the wall. Okay, come back down and rest in child's pose. All right, now we're going to do some lunges. You'll take 2 blocks. Watch. The blocks are on the low side. They could be on the medium side. Going to draw the knee into the chest and see if you can get the foot to the top of the mat. That's going to be hard for some of you, okay? In which case you can manually take it up. And then you're going to go back. And then we'll take the left knee in with a little bit of momentum. I kind of swing a little bit if you want the left leg back and swing the left leg up. All right, we're going to do a few rounds of that. If your leg doesn't come to the top of the mat where the knee is over the ankle, then manually with your hands take it up. Okay, so here we go. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take the right knee into the chest. Hold it there. Wait there. Now with momentum, swing it up to the top of the mat. Now adjust, get the knee over the ankle. Knee over the ankle. The back of the leg is lifted and straight. Okay, now swing it back to dog. Okay, left knee in. Yeah, we're not gonna do it, Ekapada will come. All right, left knee in. Take the knee into the chest. All right, now swing it up to the top of the mat. Good, wait there. And now go back to dog. All right, let's do another round. Okay, knee into chest. Swing the leg up. Wait there. Give time to people. Yeah, so Winnie, check out with your knee so that the knee is in line over the ankle. So now lunge position. Knee is directly over the ankle. And now take it back, good Betsy, to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Last time, left knee in. Left leg up. Walk it up if it doesn't come up on its own from the core strength. It's fine. Just see that, check in with your left knee and see it's over the ankle. Keep the neck long. And now exhale, go back. All right, now rest again, child's pose.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah, Bet. Go ahead, Donna.
When you bring the knee to the chest, do you keep your arms angled like dog pose, or do you move the arms to like plank, high plank?
It's more like a plank dummy. So that, you know, they've changed position when I take the knee in because I'm engaging my abdomen to swing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good question. All right, so now just rest in child's pose, and we're going to do Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana, one-legged dog pose. All right, so when you're ready, up you go, dog pose. And Andrea, if it gets too much, then always as an alternative to one-legged dog pose, can always do a modified warrior 3 with the hands on the bricks on the high side, but you seem to be doing well. All right, now bring the feet together, keeping the hips even, Steven. Lift the root of the right thigh up, balancing the pelvis side to side. The hips are balanced. Now descend that leg. Feet together. Okay, lift the root of the left thigh up. Good, hips are balanced. Take the leg down, and again, lift the root of the right leg up. Descend it. Lift the root of the left thigh up. And descend it. Okay, and child's pose. Okay. All right, now we're going to combine the two things. So watch. Again, going back to the blocks with the lunges. So see if you can, I think, Marina, for you, if you get away from the wall, it might be easier to not bend that aerial leg. So you're in dog pose. You're going to raise the root of the leg up and then swing it forward into the lunge and then swing it back up and back to dog. So you're touching Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana twice. All right, here we go. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good. Bring the feet together. We're gonna take the legs a little, yeah, maybe walk to the arm side. I'm afraid you're gonna kick behind you, but now the spine, yeah, the spine is too short now. The legs have shortened, Marina, so walk, if you can, toward your hand side. Okay, sorry, lift the root of the right leg up. All right, now swing it all the way to the top to the lunge, and please look at your right leg to see that the knee is over the ankle in your lunge position. Chest is long. Now swing it back to one-legged dog pose. Good. And then dog pose. Well done. And now lift the root of the left thigh up with momentum coming to your lunge position. Yes. Good. And now back to one-legged dog. Good. And back to dog and rest again. All right, well done. All right, rest there. So you see we're doing a bunch of these active things. And now the next one, we're going to go back to using the blocks, and the lunges get a little faster, basically. All right. So I'm going to start in my lunge position here. And then I'm sensing that my abdomen is lifting. It's like a buoyancy in my abdomen, just kind of showing the feeling. And you can also put the blocks on the medium side. And then I swing the legs to and fro. Swing, swing, swing. So you'll start in the lunge position, swing the legs. Some of you might be aided by putting the blocks on the medium side and hooking the thumb, as I showed, on the inside of the brick. Okay, so here we go. Swing the legs back and forth. Swing, swing, swing. Work with movement. Let's say, that's it. Go fast. That's it. Good, Nancy, good. Try to get the knee over the ankle though. So just because we're doing it fast, just still maintain the same alignment. Do around 10. Good, Lindsay. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, and then take a well-deserved rest. So you can see, you might not want an hour of this kind of movement, but certainly 20 minutes might be suitable, especially if you are up to it. Now we're going to take the next step, which is adding a standing pose. Lindsay, I'm going to ask you to come into, so actually first we'll all do Virabhadrasana 1. So it becomes very clear because it is a lot easier if you know the Sanskrit name, Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1, and you know what the pose is, to actually not overthink it and just come into it in a different way. So everyone come up in Tadasana and come into Virabhadrasana 1. I don't think I have to demonstrate this one. Take the arms out to the side, turn the right leg out, turn the left leg in, Vimanasana, extend your arms up, reach up, and now form a right angle with your right leg. That's Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Chest is upright, chest is upright. Turn the inner knee to the outer knee. Now inhale, up you come. All right, keep the arms up and let's just go to the other side. Turn the left leg out, turn the right leg all the way in. So the trunk is facing the direction of the left leg. Recharge through the inner arms and now bend and form a right angle with the left leg. So this is the classical way to come into it. There are many, many different ways. Watch the back leg, keep it straight. Remember the chair possibility. Okay, Lindsay, I'm going to spotlight you. And so I just want to take this to the sort of the end stage of where we're going with these active poses. And we're going to come into it from dog pose, splitting the legs, and then Warrior 1. All right, so watch everyone. This is not so easy for older people to do because as one ages, it can be hard on the feet, and the muscles that are required for this kind of movement seem to be a little bit slower. So if you could adjust your camera, Lindsay, so we can see your whole body, but also your feet. All right, so we're going to take it from dog pose. All right, so you've all done Warrior 1. So you don't have to, you know what it looks like, you've just been in. So all you have to do is figure out a way to come into it from dog pose, which is what we call splitting the legs. So watch, it goes from dog pose. So Lindsay, you're not going to use the blocks, I see, right? Okay, so some of you, I do suggest using the blocks because it will be easier based on what we just did if you do use the blocks on the lower medium side. Okay, so now go. So you can see her right, see how she did that rather quickly. All right, beautifully. It was very, very, very lyrical. Then she comes back and then goes back to dog. And now you're going to take the other leg. Watch that left leg. Yes, there. Now, it might be for some of you that you have to manually take that leg up. That's fine, but that's what we're aiming to get to, okay? So don't overthink it. Thanks, Lindsay. And I'm going to see everyone in galley you in a minute. All right. Okay. Let's see how we do with this. It's not easy, I know, but if we could do one or two of them, it would be wonderful. You know, just two. The first one, if you've never done it, although we did do it a few weeks ago. All right, so you're coming back to dog pose. You're splitting the legs, taking the right leg in front. So just think about that's it, Nancy. Yes, just get yourself into Warrior 1. However, right? Split the legs, split the legs. Right leg is, that's it, Andrea. Arms are up. Good, Betsy. Now go back to dog pose. Yes, And yes, the blocks will help. Now take the left leg forward, right leg is back, and now come into warrior one. Good. All right, now go back to dog pose, and let's just do it one last final time, and then it'll all be over. Okay, right leg forward, split, don't overthink, just get yourself back to warrior one. That's all you have to do. And then go back to dog pose, split the legs, and then left leg forward. Okay. Now, mind you, you could add, which is Ardha Chandrasana. You could do Parsvottanasana. You could do the same thing that Lindsay just showed, rest now. You could do the same thing, splitting the legs, Parsvottanasana, splitting the legs, Ardha Chandrasana, Donna and Betsy, splitting the legs, revolve triangle. All those things can come. All right, now, because we did a lot of standing work, go back to Uttanasana and support the head. Firmly establish that pose. We already did it. Put the head support now to quiet the brain. So you can see we used, now we're using the head support to counter that rajasic, that revved up feeling. So we're standing and you're having head support. Polly, you can put the head on the seat of the chair, or the bolster, or the blocks, or back to wall, Donna. Okay. All right. Now come back down, and we're going to do not classical Iyengar yoga abdominal work. We're just going to do some sit-ups, okay? So I'm going to show you the way we're going to do it. I think from the side you can see it best. So I'm going to have my hands, basically my thumbs are right above my ears, and just as a reminder not to strain my neck. So my intention is to get the shoulder blades and the neck and the head off the floor. And I'm going to do 15 of them, 15 in total, okay? All right, let's see how we do with this. So you're lying flat on your back, and I had my hands, as you can see, kind of my thumb was right at the top of my ear. My elbows were kind of in line with my hands, and just sending a message for my neck and my head to relax. Okay, clear the shoulder blades off the floor, which is not so easy. Elbows toward the midline, not out to the side. That's it. Keep going up and down. 15. As you come up, sense your bottom ribs are moving toward your frontal hip bones, right? So that the bottom rib cage is moving toward the hips so that the lower spine feels somewhat pressed into the earth. There's not a big gap between the back of the floor and your lower spine. 15, and then once you've done 15, see if you can just hold it for the count of 5. Hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now watch. Let me just adjust the screen. All right, now we're going to do this. I'm going to go back on your back, and you're going to raise come up as you were in that whole position, and the my right leg is coming up, but my left heel's on the floor, okay? And then I'm going to change sides. So my elbow is coming to my inner knee, the heel is down. I'm going to raise the right, but I'm not turning. We can do that later. I'm just lifting the right leg up, lifting the left leg up. All right, let's try that. Remember to sense that the bottom rib cage is moving toward the frontal hip bones. Okay, so right leg comes up, and then the left heel's on the floor. Now the left knee comes up and the right heel is on the floor. Go side to side for 10. Legs are bent, legs are bent. There is, of course, you can do it straight legs, but that's a moving on, back and forth. That's it. That's good, Winnie. Yeah. Right side, left side, right side, left side, right side, left side, right side, left side. And then we'll do the turn. Right side, left side, right side, left side. 10 in total. Okay, now for the obliques, we'll do it this way. So we're going to take the legs up, and then you're going to, this is better angle. So I'm literally turning my chest to the left elbow, right elbow to outer left knee, and then change sides. Heel is being brought to the floor, knee to elbow, heel to floor, knee to elbow, heel to floor, knee to elbow, heel to floor. Okay? This is for the oblique muscles and transverse abdominis. Okay, do about 20, which will be 10 on each side. Keep moving the rib cage toward the frontal hip bone so that the lower spine, good, Julia, yeah. Alternating side to side. All right. And then once you've done it, of course, rest. All right, now stretch the legs into UPP, Urdhva Padasana, hold the sides of the mat. Keep the legs straight. If they shake or if they start to bend, either put a belt across the feet or add a block between the thighs. That same feeling that you had in the sit-ups, the abdomen is moving back toward the front of the spine. If the legs are going, so Nancy, you can, see if you can adjust. If you look in your screen and see your picture of yourself on the side, see that your legs are perpendicular. This is easy, take the arms overhead. So Betsy, we're doing Urdhva Prasarita, Padasana, good Marina, legs straight. If the legs are bending, use a block between the thighs or put a belt around the feet. Betsy, you can do the full pose like that, that's fine. We're just doing the first stage, yeah. Okay, now come up and we're doing warrior 1 to warrior 3, and we'll conclude the active stage of the class. So now warrior 1 to warrior 3. All right, so we've done warrior 1 already. Actually, we did it from the classic way. We did it from Lindsay's way. And now back up. All right, standing in Samastiti. Jump the feet wide apart. Yes, see that, Mary Beth? Yeah, when you turn to the right or the left, you don't want to have the hands against. So see that you have plenty of room beside you. If you feel that your energy is low, remember modified warrior 3. Just have your blocks, as I showed earlier for Andrea. You can do modified warrior 3 if you're running out of steam. Otherwise, we're doing warrior 1 to warrior 3. All right, let's see. So come into warrior 1 to the right when you're ready. You've done it. All right, that's it. All right, now from here, bring the chest toward the thigh. Keep reaching through the inner arms. Now shift the weight onto the right leg. Yes, reach forward with the arms. Try not to get caught by a wall, which many of you did. Good. And raise the left leg up. Good. The body is now parallel to the floor. Good, Lana. All right, now come back to warrior 1. Good. Stay there and inhale up you come. Yeah, so see that you have plenty of space not to get jammed in by a wall in front of you. Or you can come into warrior 1 and decide to take the hands to the blocks and do modified warrior 3. Okay? All right, so let's see warrior 1 on the left side. Go from order. Yeah, that's it. Okay, legs wide apart. That's it, Julia. Turn the left leg out. Right foot turns in. Good, Mary Beth. And now warrior 1. Now warrior 3. Don't bypass this transition. Bring the chest toward the thigh. Shift the weight. Reach as you shift the weight onto the left foot. Reach through your inner arms. Make the arms longer and make the body parallel as you simultaneously, Betsy, lift that right leg up. That's it. Right leg up. Okay, now slowly bend the front leg, extend through the back leg, and out you come. All right, now from here, let's go on your back, and we're going to do the Supta cycle, which I think you'll appreciate now, having spend 25 minutes or so standing on your feet. So again, think of these as chapters, if appropriate, to how you're feeling in your body and your mind. So if you want something more active, you can do this active piece. If you want something more restorative, less active, you can do the first 2 chapters. Okay, so now the 4th chapter, Supta Panigrishtasana. You can have the foot at the wall. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to 2. Okay. So when you're ready, take the knee into the chest, Ekapada Padangusthasana, wait there. Now, because we did the abdominal work, the chest and the thigh should feel like they're merged together. Take the belt across the ball of the foot, take the leg to 90. Some of you can hold the big toe. We've done, leg stretches and dog pose, one-legged dog pose, warrior 1. Yes, it's done. That's it. You can hold the big toe, the outer edge of the foot. Fine. That's it. That's it. Now, on your own, see if you can proceed to the final pose of Supta 1, where you're holding the sides of the foot, raising the chest and the head. But do it in your own time. If you feel it's appropriate now, fine. If you don't feel that the legs can do today, then stay with the strap. You can hold the sides of the foot. Bring the leg to you. Bring the leg toward you, keeping the hips balanced and the outer right hip not moving out. Okay, now go to Supta 2. Decentralize the left leg so your hips are balanced. Some of you are holding the foot, can still hold the foot. Out to the side. Just look at your right foot and see it's parallel to the floor. Extend through your arm. Imagine those of you who were here on Tuesday when we did this, when Lubna demonstrated this standing, that the center line of your body is parallel to the ceiling. Sense that. Supta Panigrishtasana 2 is just like Parshvahasta Panigrishtasana, standing pose we did. Holly, you can bend the right leg a little bit, so yes, because it's lower than, bend it, Okay, now take the leg up. You're going to cross the right to the left, resisting the inner thighs away. Hold it with the opposite hand. So you're holding the belt now with the left hand. You take the belt, those of you who don't have it, hold it with your left hand, extend the right arm out and cross the right to the left. Resist the inner thighs away from each other so that groins don't collide. Now come into your iteration of Supta 4. Some of you can do figure 4. Some of you can hook under the right leg or place the right foot into the crook of the left elbow and the right arm goes behind. Good, Mary Beth. Hold the big toe. If this side is a tighter hip, then you can use the strap or the hook under method or the figure 4 method. Okay, now from 4, go back to 2. Now from 4, go back to 2. Oh, that's it. You bend the right leg a little bit or support it with that bolster. If it's hard to maintain it in the air, you can support the right knee probably with the bolster. Okay, now come back to center. Take Dvipada for symmetry, just knees into the chest. All right. And then Ekapada, left side, left knee in. Let the leg merge with the chest and the abdomen. And then start at 90. If this left side is more easeful, you'll more likely be able to go to the final pose, holding the sides of the foot, even the back of the heel for those who can. But again, make it a process. So yes, we're doing the whole cycle to the left, but I want you to kind of stay with it. If it's coming, then go to the big toe, the sides of the foot, the back of the heel. If it's not coming, just stay with the belt. Good. And everyone's pressing at the same time the right thigh down. And then when you feel it's ready, with a relaxed throat and neck, raise the chest, raise the head, and bring the shin toward you, like Parsvottanasana, which we could have done in that vinyasa of splitting the legs. Lots of possibilities here with this sequence. Okay, now out to the side when you're ready. Hold the foot, use the strap. Some of you can hold the sides of the foot and see if you're too good, Betsy. Decentralize the right leg so the pubic plate feels broad. Look at your left foot, see it's parallel to the floor. Remember, you're not going with that left leg. You have to feel, be it the whole right side of your body should be in contact with the floor. Seal it to the floor. You can extend your right arm, that will help. You can hold, say, a chair is nearby, that will help you not go with the left leg. Then Supta 3, where you're holding the strap with the opposite hand and crossing the left to the right, resisting the inner thighs away, like revolve triangle. That's good, Lana. So this is like revolve. Each Supta 1, 2, 3, and 4 have their corresponding standing pose. Good. And now Supta 4 again, whichever iteration is in line with this left hip. So oftentimes people have to do a different iteration, side to side. Say this left hip is very tight. Maybe figure 4 is better, or hooking under versus the whole pose. Some people find that the Supta 4 is very challenging. They have to start with figure 4. So again, I'll treat this as a separate chapter, this Supta cycle. Could be longer. Now from Supta 4, go back to Supta 2, see if it's improved. That's it, Julia. Remember, find the median line. So imagine you're standing on your right foot. You saw Linda demonstrate on Tuesday, and she was perfectly aligned. Okay, now take the leg up, take Dvipada for symmetry. And now we're going to begin Shavasana, but I decided we're going to think about, again, quieting the mind. And the very best way to do Shavasana, of course, it's rarely done this way because the classes are not long enough or we don't allow that kind of time. But we're going to do Viparita Setu Bandha first, and then Viparita Karani, and then Shavasana. So I'd like you to do a straight leg Setu Bandha, which will mean that you'll need 2 blocks and a wall. Don't worry if you don't have a wall. Okay, so this is the one, we did it last week. So I'm putting 2 blocks on the high side. And you start with bent legs. And I will say that most people wind up too far away from the wall. So I'm coming into Setu Bandha with my pelvis supported, and then I extend one leg. You can see the whole foot is on the wall, and then the other, okay? So that's what you're going to do. If anyone feels that their lower back can't do a straight leg Setu Bandha, then keep the legs bent, feet on the floor. Be closer to the wall than you think, because it's likely that the feet won't come to the wall. If you don't have a wall, just do bent legs Setu Bandha. This, yeah, that's good, Julia. Make sure the heels are right up against the wall, not just the balls of the feet. Yeah, make sure the blocks are the same height, right? 2 blocks. If you only have 1 block, it's just 1 block. And then you can put it on the horizontal or the vertical side. Mary Beth, I think you're too far away, my friend. Yeah. Yeah. See, make sure your ankle should be in line with the groins. Good, Nancy. Ankles align with the groins. Betsy, it looks like the feet are smidged too high. Yes. Keep the frontal groins in line with the frontal ankle. So those of you who are not have the wall, so come into it, Andrea, no, first the pelvis goes down. That's an odd way to come into it. You lift the pelvis up, then you put the block
Yeah, you don't come into it, the blocks.
in the air, yeah. Donna, let's see. It works really well with 4 blocks because then the feet at the same height can be on the same level block, but a lot of you, yeah, Marina, walk the feet down so that your ankles, guys, should be in line with your groins. Very good. Walk the feet down a little bit. Nancy, yours are good. All right. And now, yeah, press the thighs down, outer thigh to inner thigh. Just imagine I'm standing on your leg side, rolling the outer thighs to the inner thighs and pressing the thighs down. How you can keep the legs bent, you know, feet underneath the knees, good. Setu Bandha, you could hold the sides of the mat or bend the arms and have the palms of the hands facing your chest to alert the thoracic spine to move in. Make sure the legs are straight. Good, Maribeth, legs are straight. We'll do more of this next year. Okay, now to come down, those of you legs are straight, do this. Bend the legs, place the feet flat on the floor, lift the pelvis up, take the brick from the high height to the medium and then to the low. Okay, now Viparita Karani against the wall, but use the trunk support unless you don't want to, and then you just lie flat. So this is the one, we often do this at the beginning of the class to relax the diaphragm, where the bolster and blanket are about 3 to 5 inches from the wall, and then you sit to the side and swing your legs up at the wall. The feet will be hip width apart. Viparita Karani at the wall, inverted leg pose. Those of you who don't want to have the abdomen, your pelvis support, you can do flat back. If you have any back issues, do flat back. Okay, that's it. When you go a little closer to the wall, that's it, Nancy. Sit on the side and then quickly swing the legs up. That's the up, and swing the legs up. Have the feet hip width apart. We're just doing this leg position. Good. Relax your diaphragm. So when we come into Shavasana, if we have time, we kind of make this segue into Shavasana, doing Setu Bandha or shoulder balance, Sarvandasana, Viparita Karani, and then Shavasana. So it takes some time so that by the time you get to Shavasana, you've started to relax, kind of a doorway in. Good, these look good. Marina, I think the bolster could be a little bit more to the leg side. Scoot it away from your, yes, even more, yes, there. That's better. Those of you, I will say, if you find that you're, and personally I feel this way, that when the legs are straight is wonderful, but when you bring the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana, it really relaxes the diaphragm. If that works for you, you could do that leg position in Viparita Karani. I only say it because we've done it so much this year. So if you find this leg position not the ideal one for you to relax the diaphragm, then take your legs into your preferable mode. And then we'll do relaxation. Good, Nancy. I'm glad to see some of you have brought your legs into a different leg position. So think of these two postures, these two asanas as the doorway to Shavasana, establishing the right conditions so that Shavasana can be received. And then today for Shavasana, any Shavasana of your choice, be it prone, supine, legs at the legs on the seat of the chair, any way you want, okay? So transition yourself, if you're ready, to your Shavasana today. the last one of the year. Want to sit upright, that's fine. So I just wrote out something for the end of the year, our last time together in terms of the vow that we spoke of earlier. Think of the vow like a North Star. No matter what's going on in your life, you know, what matters most to you? What matters most to you? Come up with some words: kindness, love, compassion, self-empathy. Those kinds of things can really help you set a vow. So again, adjusting yourselves well, your body well, so that you can relax and that you're warm enough. And something over your eyes. And just taking the time now to lie down. And quietly we will today reflect. So if you were today to set or reaffirm a long-term intention or vow, your heart's direction, what would it be? And it could be, as I said earlier, it could be very simple. I vow to be kind. Perhaps that's your vow, your North Star. It might be a vow to build a healthy business, establish a truly loving family. Might be an intention to dedicate yourself to healing or care of others. Whatever it is, let it become your compass, your underlying direction in spite of changing outer circumstances. So it's like you're dialing your mind, your body to that vow, no matter what happens. Thomas Merton once said, "Do not depend on the hope of results. You may have to face the fact that your work will be apparently worthless and even achieve no result at all, if not perhaps results opposite to what you expect. As you get used to this idea, you start more and more to concentrate not on the results, but on the value, the rightness, the truth of the work itself." And you can repeat silently to yourself this vow. If you're making one, if not, no worries. As a reminder, as the North Star to your speech, to your behavior, to your actions, your inner dialogue. And again, no matter what the external circumstances may be, knowing that it's not going to be perfect, that you make mistakes along the way, in which case you just simply begin again. sometimes just as I said, asking the question, what matters most? That can yield some interesting answers and give you some direction. So we'll have a moment to be together. I'm going to stop the recording.